I'm honored to be here and to celebrate the role of volunteers in the HISD. And Rachel is correct. I, too, am a volunteer. We are elected to office, but we do serve in an unpaid capacity, and we enjoy that challenge in the way that it's done. Today, with me, will you please welcome my colleague Diane Johnson, also from the Board of Education. You know, the experience of volunteering is like nothing else, but that's something that we all have in common. We know the difference that volunteering can make. We care enough to step out of our everyday lives and into someone else's, and we can see that public education needs us, and we step up. One of our HISD schools is named after an educator, an African-American leader, Booker T. Washington, who once said, "If you want to lift yourself up, lift up someone else." And our VIPS volunteers do that, if I may call you VIPS. Does VIPS work for y'all? When I grew up, I knew a lot about VIPS, and that's what we called it then. But you all lift our students up, and you help the HISD achieve what it has achieved, and we thank you for that. You're in the right place, and you're doing the right thing. Now, VIPS is very special to me because my mother served in VIPS throughout much of my childhood when I was a student in the HISD. She was board chairman in 1975 and 1976, and she's here today. I'd like to thank Nancy Moore for her service to VIPS and for being an inspiration to me to serve in our public schools. I'd like to give you a few highlights about what we have accomplished together here at the HISD, and then a few words about what we are going to do this year together. First, the challenge. As you probably know, there is and has always been a persistent link between poverty and low achievement, not just in this city, not just in this country, but around the world, ever since we have measured these things, which frankly is not that long. It's really not about race, it's not about religion, it's not about genetics, it is about poverty. And it's everywhere you look. And where is poverty? It's in Americans' urban areas, like Houston. HISD is 80% at risk. That means that 80% of the children that we serve are at risk and qualify for free and reduced lunch. Now that presents a tremendous challenge. The state average is only 55% at risk. And we will be compared and have been compared to the state, but we're different from the state. The national average is even less at risk. So where is the hope? When no school system has ever broken the cycle of poverty and achievement. Well, Houston, the hope is here. The hope is here because there is no other major city in America that has a more positive, constructive relationship between its diverse ethnic groups, between its political parties, between its economic groups, between church and state, between business and education. And we're blessed that here in Houston, we resolve our differences in constructive ways and not through violence. And we are blessed by you, the volunteers in public schools. And it's working. My friends, we are attaining results that have never been attained for a large urban area. In almost every grade level and subject, for more than 5 years, HISD students have been scoring higher on nationally normed achievement tests, despite far higher numbers of students from socioeconomic groups that have scored lower elsewhere and everywhere else. The HISD, with anything but an average student body, now consistently scores several points above average, and that achievement continues to improve every year. More and more of our students are on target to be college ready when they graduate. Last month, the state reported math college readiness numbers. And for the first time, HISD students in every single subgroup surpassed students statewide. For 2 years in a row, HISD's SAT scores have increased, while state and national SAT scores have declined. More AP tests were given last year than ever, and more dual credit was awarded with HCC and other colleges. We have the most top TEA-rated schools ever in our history, 88 schools in the top 2 categories, almost all of which serve primarily at-risk populations. And from a financial perspective, HISD has won awards for its prudent stewardship of taxpayer money. HISD has the highest bond rating of any school district in the state of Texas, and one of the highest in the United States, AA rating. HISD won the Broad Prize a few years ago for Best School District, and this year was named the Best Urban School Board in America for our results. Now that's good news. What it says is that we're headed in the right direction, but it does not mean, as you all know, that we close up shop and go home for the day. I said that HISD beat the state in every subgroup, but even in HISD, 42%, only 42% of economically disadvantaged students are college ready. Now that means that we have a lot further to go. We're doing it better than anybody else, but we have further to go. The tremendous change we've made, though, means that we're on the right track, and for that, I thank you for your involvement. Now, maintaining this kind of success and building it into sustainable success takes a lot more work. As we go forward, there are some critical areas that we as a board are going to be focusing on: human resources, collaboration, and communication. This is what we're doing 2008 in the HISD, and I want you to share in this vision and help continue to make it happen. First of all, human resources. Today's event makes it crystal clear how important people are to education. Research shows that there is nothing more important to a child's education than an excellent teacher. And this is something that we as a district can do something about. At HISD, we can and do value our teachers. In the past 3 years, we have increased teacher salaries by 17%. And since 1999, we have increased teacher salaries an average of 47%. Since the year 2000, we've increased teacher starting salaries by 40%. We can and do offer bonuses to those teachers who are making sure that our students are learning and who are gaining a year or more of academic growth every year. And we can and do offer earlier and higher signing bonuses to bring in excellent teachers into our district, especially those in high demand like bilingual teachers and math teachers. Now, as you know, as much as we've increased our teacher salaries, we're probably still not paying our teachers enough. And the fact is, though, that there is not enough money in the state of Texas to pay every teacher what the best teacher is worth. We all know, those of you who are principals and who work closely with principals, that this is a competitive environment, and we often have people trying to steal away or hire away our very best teachers. Everybody knows who the best teachers are, and they often get recruited away. And that's why we need to continue to do what we can to keep the best teachers right here in HISD. And for that reason, we came up with the Aspire performance model, where we pay performance pay, a significant amount of performance pay, for growth in academic achievement, something that everyone can appreciate and all parents care about. And we this year paid out $25 million in bonuses under the Aspire program. It doesn't mean that we don't value the base salary, and we don't continue to increase it every year when we can, as I just illustrated that we do. But the performance system is on top of that. It's significant. It makes a difference. It's making it difficult, as I found out last night at the KIP yearly gala, that we are making it harder and harder for them to recruit away our teachers, and that's really great. But we can't stop there. We need to continue to recruit from top universities. We need to improve the ways we support teachers and how we help them become excellent teachers. And we need to continue to give our principals and future leaders more professional development. And leadership is the second part of the improvements that we plan to do this year in human resources. The leadership development of our principals to make them more effective at what they do. In addition to human resources, HISD board is going to spend this year working to develop our collaborations and our partnerships. Now, we are fortunate to have volunteers like yourselves, as well as strong relationships with businesses, organizations, philanthropy, civic groups, and the City of Houston. But in my view, and that of my colleagues on the Board of Education, we're not collaborating well enough. In 2008, we will improve our collaborative skills as a board, as an administration, and as a district as a whole, and we will develop much further our best partnerships in education with your help. And last and not least, we know that communication, both in what we as a district say and what we as a district hear, is crucial to our future success. And this is another area where my colleagues and I believe we have much to learn and much to gain. 2008 will be a year of far better communication. Already, the superintendent has convened a community engagement committee of leaders who can act as a sounding board on community issues. And also, those who attend our HISD board meetings may have noticed another change. We now start 2 hours later to make it easier for more people to attend. We want you to be there. We want your thoughts and your interest. For those who don't know, HISD's regular board meetings are held on the second Thursday of every month at 5 p.m. in the Hattie Mae White Building. At this year's State of the Schools address, I asked Houston to imagine with me a society in which poverty does not persistently result in low achievement as it does across America today. A place where every child has the real opportunity to achieve to his or her potential. A focus not on passing a test, but on solid academic growth for every student every day. I asked Houston to imagine a city full of schools led by principals who are strong, collaborative leaders, who are determined to recruit and retain only the best teachers, and who consistently work with local nonprofits, neighborhood volunteers, and supportive corporations to provide everything our children need to succeed. That can happen here in Houston, and it is happening in part because of you, the volunteers here today. Thank you so much for your hard work and commitment to the HISD.